I found a massive amount of horsehair worms in the cafeteria's dishwashing sink. I immediately stopped everyone. Put your utensils down, stop eating. There might be horsehair worms in the food. Eating it could kill you. I figured people would take it seriously. Instead, everyone just laughed at me. Did washing dishes fry your brain? What worms? Boil them and they're just protein. Extra nutrients, honestly. Then the next second, voices erupted from every corner of the cafeteria. I'm so thirsty, I need water. I'm a sophomore working a part-time job at the school cafeteria. Nothing fancy, just cleaning and washing dishes. The sink was already piled high with dishes. I turned on the faucet, slipped on rubber gloves, and grabbed the sponge to start my shift. That's when I noticed it. A few bent, wire-like strands floating in the sink. Where did these come from? I was about to reach in and scoop them out when I froze. They were moving. I cranked the faucet to full blast, hoping the water pressure would flush those black string-like things down the drain. But then something even more terrifying happened. Right out of the running water, more of those same black creatures came crawling out. They were writhing in the water like they were alive. I crouched down to get a closer look. These things were uniform in thickness, only 1 to 3 millimeters wide, but anywhere from 10 to 50 centimeters long. Some were even longer. I picked one up with chopsticks and dropped it onto the dry floor. The second it left the water, it coiled up tight. It looked just like a rusted wire. My skin was crawling. It took me right back to when I was a kid by the pond, watching horsehair worms wriggle out of a mantis's body. Growing up near the pond, I'd always come across mantises with their abdomens completely split open, dead. I looked it up later and found out horsehair worm larvae live in the water. When a mantis drinks infected water, it gets parasitized. As the worm grows inside, it compresses the mantis's body cavity, causing it to slowly waste away. Once the worm matures, it secretes chemicals that hijack the mantis's brain, driving it straight toward a water source. And then finally, the worm bursts out from inside the mantis. But the worms in front of me, they didn't quite look like what I remembered from back at the pond. The ones on the floor looked thicker, more alive. I pulled out my phone and took a photo, then sent it to my brother, the bug research nerd. And then a thought hit me. What would actually happen if someone drank water with horsehair worm larvae in it? That thought alone sent me sprinting. I killed the faucet and ran straight to the middle of the cafeteria. Everyone, put your utensils down right now. Stop eating. There might be horsehair worms in the water supply. If you swallow them, it could be life-threatening. Everyone stop, please stop eating. I thought I'd at least trigger some panic. Instead, the entire cafeteria just laughed. The clatter of trays mixed with roaring laughter. Girl, did washing dishes give you hallucinations? Ha ha ha. Horsehair worms? You watch too many sci-fi movies. Oh wait, isn't that Zhang Jiamo, the dishwasher girl? Poor kids really do mature faster, huh? She knows so much more than us. If you ask me, she just wants Goo's attention. Total attention seeker. I didn't bother explaining myself. I only took this job to lose weight. Let them say whatever they want. All I cared about right now was stopping the people who were still eating. That's when it happened. A wave of noise exploded from every direction in the cafeteria. I'm so thirsty, I need water. Get me water now, I'm dying of thirst. I froze. A cold chill shot up my spine. I watched students clutching their throats, sprinting toward the faucets. The wild look in their eyes reminded me of those mantises throwing themselves into the pond to die. Do not drink the water. Get to the infirmary now, you might be infected. Parasitized. Don't drink it, you could die. Everyone stop. I was standing in the middle of the cafeteria, screaming at the top of my lungs. Chen Lu, the student council president, stood there with her arms crossed, smirking like she wasn't even trying to hide it. Zhang Jiamo, how many times are you gonna pull this cheap little stunt? Can't you see people are trying to eat? Stop being so gross. My voice was shaking. No, you've got it all wrong. I just saw a bunch of unusual horsehair worms in the dishwashing sink. If you eat them, you will get parasitized. Please don't drink the water. It's dangerous. Boil horsehair worms and they're just protein. Are you seriously losing it from washing too many dishes? We want water because today's dry pot duck heads were insanely spicy. Our tongues are numb and we're parched. Got a problem with that? I went quiet. That's when Chen Lu got even more smug. Right, you can't even afford white rice, let alone dry pot duck heads. Zhang Jiamo, don't tell me you've never even tried dry pot duck heads before. Ha ha ha! The second she said it, the whole cafeteria erupted. Everyone was laughing at me. Chen Lu's sidekick, Han Yingying, piled on even harder. Zhang Jiamo, you've got some nerve. Your own brother is literally at Southwest University doing insect research. Did he not tell you horsehair W? Oh right, he's the top student in entomology. You two really know how to hype yourselves up. Even if you accidentally eat larvae, the worst that happens is a stomachache and diarrhea. Could you two please finish middle school biology before talking out of your ass? I pulled out my phone to show everyone the proof. My finger had barely touched the horsehair worm photo when a message came in. I opened it. The moment I saw what it said, every hair on the back of my neck stood up. My brother's message was just one line, followed by 3 panic-stricken exclamation marks. Momo, leave. Right now. These are not regular horsehair worms. They've mutated. My brother's words hit me like a command. 3 exclamation marks. That alone told me this was critical. There was no time to waste. I didn't even look back at the mockery behind me. I stumbled back to the dishwashing area, picked up a few writhing mutant worms with chopsticks, and shoved them into a glass jar. I grabbed the jar and bolted out of the cafeteria. As I ran past the tables, I caught something out of the corner of my eye. Under campus heartthrob Senior Goo's chair, several worms were slithering, identical to the ones in my jar. And Senior Goo himself was chugging from a 2-liter bottle of mineral water with his neighbor, his throat working hard, neck veins popping. The moment I made it out of the cafeteria, the sound of screaming and retching erupted behind me. What the hell is that? Where did these worms come from? Something is crawling out of my nose. Water, give me water, water. I didn't stop. I ran all the way back to my dorm, hands shaking as I dialed my brother. What do I even do right now? How bad is this? As I talked, I kept staring at the glass jar. The worms inside really were thicker than any I'd seen before. Momo, have you been eating from the cafeteria lately? I counted back in my head. Because of my diet, I hadn't eaten at the cafeteria for almost a whole week. Even the water I'd been drinking was stuff I bought myself. His voice was trembling, a kind of dread I'd never heard from him before. Once I said no, I heard him exhale. Then he said, "Pack up right now. I'm on my way to get you. I've already called the police. The response team should be there soon." Is it really that serious? Bro, they're just bigger versions of regular horsehair worms. I held the magnifying glass up to the jar and suddenly gasped. Bro, they have spines now, and are those eye sockets? And teeth? The front end of the worm writhed, its semi-transparent jaw opening and closing. Wait, you actually caught some and brought them back? Obviously, you can't defeat an enemy you don't understand. Know your enemy, right? I gave the jar a shake. The worms knocked against the glass, making a faint crunching sound. My brother ended the voice call. A second later, a video call popped up. Sweat still beaded on his forehead. He was still wearing that familiar white lab coat. Momo, go get the birthday present I gave you last year. Mount the specimen on the slide. Last birthday, my brother, absolute brick of a man, had gifted me a portable microscope. Didn't expect it to come in handy like this. I took out the microscope, put on my gloves, and used tweezers to pull one of the mutant worms out. I placed it on the slide. The moment I looked through the eyepiece, my pupils snapped tight. Those fuzzy-looking spines I'd seen with the naked eye. Under 400x magnification, they were rows of backward-facing barbed hooks. The front end of the worm had split into 3 jaw-like flaps. Inside the semi-transparent tissue, dense nerve fibers were writhing. Bro, what the hell is this thing? I stared at the monster squirming under the lens, so horrified that my back molars were aching from clenching. The microscope data was feeding to my brother's phone. When he finally saw what was on the slide, beads of sweat broke out across his forehead. Cut the worm body with scissors, extract the fluid sample. His voice was trembling, barely controlled. My hand gripped the dissection scissors so tight it went cold with sweat. The moment the blade came down, the worm arched violently upward. Dark green fluid splattered across the slide. What should have been viscous tissue fluid. Under the lens, it was something else entirely. Tens of thousands of microscopic worm bodies, each one carrying tiny barbed hooks and transparent wing-like fins. They were etching spiderweb-thin scratch marks across the glass. Momo, get out of there, now! I'm almost at your campus! These horsehair worms have been genetically engineered. They've mutated, and if I'm right, they're a variant created by splicing in the CM virus from the US government program. Once something is engineered with the CM virus, the fallout is unimaginable. These things would be 1,000 times more powerful than before.